Hi, welcome to another reading. Today we're looking at what somebody is thinking and feeling about you and what they're hoping for. This can be a crush, a new love, or a new friend, a person you're on the outs with, or anyone where you are wanting some clarity about what's going on for them when it comes to you. There are 4 groups for you to choose from today. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at each of them right now. For group 1, we have Howlite, and we are using the Skeleton Tarot. For group 2, we have what I think is Honey Calcite, and we are using the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. For group 3, we have Opals, and we are using the Fabled Hedgehog Tarot. For group 4, we have what I call a Sea Geode, and we are using the Mystic Fairy Tarot. Okay, take your time choosing if you need to. Meet me in your reading when you're ready. I am going to jump right in. Hi, group 1. You chose the Howlite and the Skeleton Tarot. Welcome to your reading. We are looking at what someone is thinking when it comes to you. This could be a crush. This could be someone you're not getting along with. Really, anyone who you're wanting to get some clarity on. I am going to shuffle this deck and tell you what we're going to be looking at, but I did sit down to do your reading several times, and I have to say, I'm pretty sure, we'll see what happens in these cards, but I'm pretty sure this might be a crush for this group or something like that, because I'm getting I keep getting really silly and nervous, and I'm like, why is this happening? And I keep feeling like I'm sort of seeing you draft a message over and over, oh, should I say this? Should I say that? What do they think about this? So I do think this might be a crush for this group. We'll find out. But there's definitely some slightly nervous energy, but also slightly excited energy. And it just feels very silly to me. So anyway, what we are going to look at is what this person on your mind is like as an energy check to make sure that this is your reading. We're not necessarily going to see who they are to you. We might, but just some things about them. And then we will look at their thoughts about you, their feelings about you, what they're hoping will happen, and then some advice. Okay. So what is group 1's person like? What can you tell me about group 1's person? We have the 2 of Swords. Okay, we'll go with these. The 5 of Cups and the Queen of Wands. With the 5 of Cups here, it is possible that this person has been through it. They may have had relationships that went sour, or they went through a pretty bad breakup either recently or before you met them, or they just have grief and loss from their childhood, or this particular 5 of Cups is making me think this person might just be accident prone and clumsy, because it doesn't even necessarily scream grief. It's just oh, I broke another mug, it's this very shoot, I did it again. So, and also this person might be kind of tall and gangly. That does not have to be the case. I'm not just seeing that energy here, but you may notice this person may be that way. So that could be confirmation for somebody. This could be someone who does like to cook or likes to make things for people. If you come over to their house, they're oh, do you want a hot chocolate? Do you want a coffee? Can I make you some tea? Can I make you a snack? This might be someone that likes to feed people, or when they get nervous, they do stuff like that. This person definitely seems to have a little bit of nervous energy here. But it's also balanced by super confident energy. So you might if this person is new to you, you might sort of notice sometimes they seem sort of you might notice they seem nervous, or they might seem very confident at other times. You might notice it goes back and forth. Or you also sometimes feel very nervous and very confident around them. I am getting a lot of new to you energy. So I do think this could be a newer person in your life, either platonically or romantically. It doesn't have to be. We'll see what else the energy is here in case you still think this is your reading, but this is someone you've known a while. But I am getting some new energy. This could be someone who, for some reason, this Two of Swords is making me think of like someone wearing like a VR headset or someone that likes to play video games. So that could be confirmation for someone as well. This could be someone that really likes to play video games, or you play games together, or you met through gaming or something like that. And that doesn't have to be video games. It could also be like a board game group, or like you guys like to play Uno together or something like that. There might be like a game that you have in common, or this person really likes games. They could be very creative. So they could dress very creatively. They could be an artist or do creative work as a hobby or as a job. They could have a really beautiful home, a really interesting home. This definitely, I'm going to say this about this person. They're not the average person. They definitely are different than the average. And that might be what drew you to them as well. Because I do think that they're just very unique. They look unique. They act unique. Maybe they have like a really silly or interesting laugh, or their voice is different. There are things about them that are really different. And there seems to be like attraction energy here too. So I do think, again, it could be platonic. It could be romantic. But I do think this is someone either new to you now or was new to you. I don't think this group grew up with this person necessarily. There does seem to be like a mix of masculine and feminine energies here, regardless of gender. So, they may present very masculine or very feminine or androgynous, but they seem to have qualities of both. Like they might be emotionally tuned in, but also very rational. I don't know. There seems to be a balance here. And it's like they have these things about them that should be contradictory, but they sort of go together and balance this person out. There is like sort of a silly energy to them. Like, I don't know if they like try to be silly or they are very like funny, but it almost feels more like they don't even mean to, and you just are cracking up. Like, you're just like, they're so funny, and I don't even think they mean to be. Like, maybe because they're accident prone, maybe because they're clumsy, maybe because of like the things that come out of their mouth, or their perspective is really unique and it just sort of makes you laugh. They could have a pet with this cat here in the Queen of Wands, or they could really like cats or animals. Or if you have a pet, I think this person probably gets along fine with your pet. For some reason, I do think this person maybe is good with plants, or maybe they like the outdoors, or they have like a few houseplants, or they have a little garden or something like that. But yeah, I think this Two of Swords for some reason is them. They kind of get lost in like hobbies or something, or they like to read and they'll get lost in a book, or they get lost in podcasts, or like, even if it's not games, they seem to, that's the feeling that I get with this card, is they sort of get lost in a hobby or an interest. And it kind of feels like, day passes into night, and it's just, I'm seeing like dark to light, dark to light, dark to light. And this person just doing something like playing a game, or like reading a book, or like getting lost in something, or researching something. They can like kind of get lost in things for hours or days. And I wonder if like you also maybe don't hear from them sometimes when they're lost in these things, if it's not a shared hobby, but that that's what they're up to. I do get the feeling that this person feels kind of trustworthy to me. I mean, that's not necessarily what we're looking at, but I don't know. Something about their energy is like kind of comforting, or like it's almost like a little bit like nerdy or dorky in like a really wonderful, positive way. And not necessarily that you think like, wow, what a dork. It's just something about them is sort of that way. Like they're not too cool. In some way, they're not too cool. They may be like, they may have a lot of friends. They may be like, they may dress really well, whatever, but like something about them is not too cool. And so I don't think that like, even if you feel nervous with them or something, like, they would not give people anxiety. You might just be nervous because like you like them, or something like that. Let's look at their thoughts about you, since that's kind of what this reading is about. So what does Group 1's person think about Group 1? We have the 8 of Pentacles, the Page of Wands. And we have the Six of Wands. Okay, well, with the Eight of Pentacles, I think they might think that you're a hard worker. They either think you're a hard worker, or that you're very efficient, or that you're really talented or skilled or good at something. I definitely think that they think that, and that you're constantly like improving. And it's like, even when you reach perfection, you're just continuing to get better. Or they think you're good at so many things. They think you're just like very like multi-talented and skilled. Even if you don't think that, they seem to think that about you. If you do some type of art or work that has like a physical component, I think that they think it's really beautiful, or it's perfection. I think they don't think that you give up very easily, and that when you want something, you will do it, or you will reach it, or you will get it done. And you seem to have like a level of focus and concentration that they admire and see in you. And yeah, I think they see you as very curious, very inspired and inspirational. And you seem to have they see you as motivated. They see you as, you're like skilled, and they see you as a learner. You're learning new things, that you might teach them things. They learn things through you and from you. They may see you as like very cultured or traveled, or like you've had experiences that they find very interesting and that are either unlike their own or like similar but different. So they learn from your stories and your experiences, and they find them really interesting. Or the way that, like, if you go to school, or you have degrees, or like you've done lots of different jobs or something, like whatever you've done in the realm of school and work is really interesting to them, and they look up to you because of that. And they think you're on top in some way, like you are good at what you do. You're very determined, that you're going to get to where you want to go, and you are well on your way. And they may see you as having like accomplished quite a few things, and you're just accomplishing the next thing. I think that they are really inspired by like your work ethic, or your abilities and skills and talents. And even if you don't see yourself that way, they definitely do. Like if you're down on yourself and you're like, oh, it took me like 7 or 8 of these to make it like perfect, and it's still not perfect. They're like, wow, perfection, 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 perfection. You know what I mean? Like if you're down on yourself about whatever you're doing, they're like, wow. They really see you as like up here. And also that like you have so much potential to continue to rise and grow and learn and teach, and like whatever you're doing with your life. Not only do they think you're amazing at it, but they see you going so far and like doing so much. And I think the fact that like they might get to be along for the ride is really exciting for them. I think they really think of you as an individual as well. And I think that they see you as pretty independent. And I think that you might be like, you might be independent, but also social. Like you might spend time alone, but also be social. Like you're good at getting your stuff done, but you might help other people get things done. There is a social energy to you, but also like a bit of a loner energy, where like you might focus for hours or days yourself on something, but then you're like, okay, time to celebrate and like have fun and party or whatever. And I think that they really like these things about you, because the energy that I get with this person and with you and with these cards is like, they have sort of an excitement. There seems to be an excitement between you, where you're kind of both doing your own thing. Maybe you do things together. But there's just this sort of like excited, like joy and like admiration for one another, and like curiosity about another. Like I'm getting an image in my head of like one of you sort of like behind a tree trunk peeking out to look at the other one. It's this sort of like, what are they up to? Like, who's that? What's happening? So again, I do think that this is probably like a newer person in your life, or they've, this is someone who may have been in your life for like some time, like some years. But if that's the case, you're still like learning things about each other and still like excited about one another. And I do think that it's either romantic or friendship. And like just someone that like you're both very interested in one another. And like there seems to be like a almost a playful quality between you, but that's not even the right word. It's let me see if I can think of it. I don't know what it is, but there's a mutual curiosity, a mutual feeling of being inspired by one another, of being intrigued and interested in one another, and like admiring things about the other. And I feel like there's an enjoyment of spending time together and wanting to spend time together. So I think when they're thinking about you, they're thinking about how like they want to hang out again, or they want to do something together, or they want to show you something, or like they want to see what you've been up to. There's this like excitement of knowing like what's going to happen and what's going on for you. And they like to like share these things like, oh, like I did this. What have you been up to? Oh, let me see. Like there's an excitement about your work or what you do or your hobbies, an excitement about what you're excited by. And then also like an excitement to share what's going on for them. But I would say that this person definitely is interested in like you and your thoughts and your feelings and what you get up to and that kind of stuff. Like this doesn't seem like someone who is self-absorbed or selfish. Like they definitely are thinking about you and interested in you. And I don't know if they perceive you accurately or not, but they perceive you as like really wonderful and talented and fun. I think that they find your brain very interesting in the way that you think and the way that you perceive things. And I think that you both might be creative people in some way. Yeah, they see you as very determined. And it, I don't even think that they see you as like focusing to like, okay, for example, if this is like someone you're newly dating and, of course they're going to want some attention from you. I don't even see that as them being like, oh, group one's always focusing on their hobbies and I never get enough attention. It's more like they're so interested in all the things that you do. They give you space to do those things and they find it like genuinely fascinating and fun and interesting. And like, they're like, no, you do your thing, I'll do my thing. And then we'll come together. Let's see a little bit more about their feelings for you. How is group one's person feeling about group one? The Empress. Uh-oh, we've got the Three of Swords. And the Four of Swords. Okay. I'm going to pull one more. And the Lovers. This is interesting. Okay. Okay, so it is still possible that this is a crush or a new person in your life, but I am starting to wonder for some of you, this is someone that you either were together with or you were close with, either for a couple months, a couple years, something like that. Like this doesn't feel like a family member who you've known forever. This is someone who came into your life at some point. And if that's the case, we do have some heartbreak here and also sort of like, it's like a heartbreak and like maybe a rest that is not necessarily wanted or is a little bit painful. And then there's this energy of like seeing you as like beautiful and abundant and creative and attractive and like wonderful. And like this, like, with the Lovers here feeling like this was going to be maybe a long-term thing, and it does seem like something happened. So if this is a new person and like nothing negative has happened between you, it might be that there are, like we saw in the beginning, some possible grief. Like they maybe went through something recently, so there's a little bit of fear here, or they may be a little bit tentative. Regardless, it's not all flowers and rainbows and butterflies. even though there is so much positive energy. But now I'm starting to think that with the previous cards that we had, there might be some nostalgia going on, and them having like all these really, really positive thoughts about you, but also feeling like heartbroken for some reason. So I also wonder if like the crush energy that was coming through is like how they felt in the beginning or how you felt in the beginning, or they are starting to feel that because like maybe if you aren't talking or you're taking a break, which you might be doing, there's some like nervousness about how to come back in or how to like fix this. But it's so strange because this person that you're thinking about, they don't seem to have a lot of negative thoughts about you. They don't see, they see you really positively. So one scenario that I can see here is that like maybe you guys took a break because one or both of you needed to like accomplish things in like school or career, or maybe you moved and you couldn't be closer together anymore. And if that's the case, you know, and I definitely think that might be the case for some people here because there was traveling energy. I don't know if I said that. You know, then there's kind of like, there's no hard feelings. I don't see any hard feelings from them. They don't dislike you. They're not mad at you. They don't hate you. There's nothing like that here. There is some sadness. There is some grief. There's some feeling of loss. There is a feeling of like a break or things not like moving in the direction they would have wanted it to move or that they do want it to move. And it is possible, again, that they just have like energy from like their last relationship that is like, was heartbreaking. And yeah. Okay. So let me stop here. This could go in a couple directions. So if nothing has happened between you and you, if nothing bad has happened between you, okay, let me put it this way. This is something that has happened to them before you, which would then impact their feelings, their emotions, and like how they kind of are and how they are presenting in this relationship. And then I'll go with the other scenario in a second. But if that's the case for you, they see you, regardless of your gender, as very like attractive, and you have like abundance and creativity, and you are going places, and you are like either a wonderful partner or friend. You are someone that can be like counted on. You are nurturing and all of these things, but they may be afraid to fully commit and like move toward a long-term relationship or move toward seriousness here because of their experience in what has happened before. And so if that's the case, they're sort of like, while they are seeing like potential and harmony and balance and like similarity between you, they're also seeing your differences and seeing what could go wrong. And there is some nervousness here. There's some like, I don't know, should I? Like, is this right for me? Is this going to go well? If that's not what's happening for you, if you were involved with this person and then there came a break or a breakup, or you were separated in some way, that is definitely forefront for them in their feelings. Even if they're not thinking about it a lot and they're trying not to think about it, their feelings keep rising to the surface, and the grief and the wanting it to be different and the wanting this is coming up for them. And regardless, they still see you as really wonderful. They still see you in this Empress kind of way where you are an amazing person to know on an individual basis. Like, you are very caring, and you're like good at things, and you're beautiful, and your soul is beautiful, and all of this stuff. And I don't think that they feel good about the separation if that's what's happening, whether or not they are the ones to have incited it. It's not what they want, and it is sad for them, and it's heartbreaking for them. And While the feelings are present, I do think that they distract themselves a lot from them. And I think that they see like the similarities and differences between you. And there's this wondering of like, will it work out? Can it work out? Is it worth it? They're wondering if you still feel the same way, if you care about them, if you still see long-term potential, if like somehow there's a way to come back together and be totally open about everything that has been on your minds and in your feelings and your experiences and what you want and what you don't want, and like just be totally vulnerable, totally open, and like reach a level of intimacy where like you can see one another's souls, like you just are bearing your souls and opening yourselves up to each other. I think that's something they really want. And I don't think that they want this space or this timeout or this fear or whatever's going on for them here. It's oppressing instead of like, sometimes the Four of Swords can be very restful. It can be a healing time, a break. But in this case, it does feel oppressive. It feels dark. It feels confusing. It feels like they can't see clearly. It's not what they want. And so when it comes to their feelings for you, it is conflicted. I wouldn't be surprised when we look at what they're hoping will happen, that you either will come back together if you're not together, or they can release whatever is holding them back, because they seem to see this long-term potential with you. And whether it is friendship or romantic or whatever, they seem to want this despite any differences that you might have or whatever they're afraid has driven you apart or will drive you apart. They want this whole heart, this like happy heart, and they want your heart to be whole and happy for them. And I wonder if you're not really happy with them or something. That's not necessarily the case. It could just be their own stuff, or, you again could have been like separated because of distance or something like that. But they want your love and care. They want to be together in person physically, and they want to know you forever, I think. And I think they get very caught up in these feelings that are up and down and over here and over there. And so I think their thoughts about you are just like very positive, and they're thinking about the things that they love about you, and they're thinking about how wonderful you are. But when it comes to their feelings, that's a little more convoluted and conflicted. Okay, what does your person hope will happen between you? Justice, the Four of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. Okay, they want security and stability. They want a firm foundation, loyalty, reliability. They want balance and harmony, and for things to be right and feel right and be equal and balanced between you. And they want it to happen very quickly. That's essentially what I see here. So whether or not this is a new relationship, whether or not you're in contact with this person, what they are hoping for is that there is a groundedness between you, that there is like a firm, solid foundation that has possibly been like that. Even though there is speed here, I think that they want things to have been like sort of put together in a solid way, even if that's very slow. They want you to trust them. They want to trust you. They want to be reliable. They want that with you. Like, there is a desire for very grounded, secure energy and for reciprocity between you. They want to know that you both are on the same page, that you feel similarly, that you want similar things, and that there is a fairness in the situation with you. They want to make sure that they are being fair to you and being fair to what you need and want, and paying attention to that and providing for you, and providing, whatever that might be. Like, if that is emotional support, or it is being a certain level of vulnerable with you, or providing, equality, something like that. They want to be able to provide in the way that you are needing them to provide, but they also want the same thing from you. They want equal give and take. They want equal amounts of vulnerability, equal feelings to the degree that they can be equal. And I think they want a lot with you, whether or not it's romantic. I think they want like all these different aspects to your relationship to be present. So, yeah, they might want feelings of security, reciprocity, joy. They might want like conversation. Like there's all these things that they want to have with you that they are wanting to give you. And I think they are willing and able to give you actually. And they also want that in turn. I don't know if they didn't give enough before this. And so that's why this is coming through now. They want to bring that in, like there's a slow to fast energy here. So I think that they might be like thinking on things and wanting to make sure that they have things in order. And then once they are certain, not only of how they feel, but hopefully they're certain of how you feel, then they want to bring in very quick, like communication, promises, offers, love, and, you know, if this is very, very new, this is where they're hoping to build the foundation and maybe move slowly and make sure that you're kind of both on the same page. And once that is certain for them, then they want to move forward very quickly. And then they will let you know how they feel. You won't have to guess about what they're thinking and feeling because they will let you know, they will communicate, and they definitely want to have this communication with you, but there does seem to be a little bit of slowness here at the start where there's some not hesitating so much as like processing and getting clearer and paying attention and like building their own security, whatever security that might be for them. And let's get some final advice for you. The Knight of Wands. So many wands in this group. The Star. And the Five of Swords. I'm going to clarify the Five of Swords. Okay, we've got the Two of Pentacles. Okay, interesting. So the first thing that I get is that you're meant to focus on your own stuff, continue to focus on your own stuff, whether or not you are in contact with this person, whether or not things are moving forward or whatever is happening with them. It's not that you're meant to like fully ignore them or anything like that, but just continue to focus on what's important to you, your hobbies, your career, your work, your studies, whatever it is, and continue to move toward your dreams, your interests, your passions, and if you did move somewhere, continue to enjoy where you are, because I think that you did the right thing. Yeah, I do think for some reason you're like exploring new terrain. So I don't know if you are in a new place or if you are learning something new. Somehow it does seem like you're exploring new terrain, maybe even new relationships. I don't know. But the advice here is to explore, to continue to do what you need to do to see new things and feel new things and learn new things and work on your creative pursuits. And maybe if you're working on healing anything, to continue to do that. And also with these stars here, I do feel like, wishing on a star, making a wish on anything. If you are someone who makes wishes, it might be time to make a wish about what you want to happen, not only in life, but with this other person and in this relationship. And yeah, I think that you're just really meant to continue to put yourself first, whatever is happening with this other person. And if this is someone that you do want in your life, in whatever way that is, there, is advice here to make sure that you're balancing this person with the other things in your life, with the other things that are important to you, and not letting this person shine too much, because I really think that the advice here is to focus on yourself, your happiness, what works for you, what's important to you. Focus on like being victorious in whatever it is that you're moving toward, having the experiences that you want to have. And if they are in your life, they need to be a balanced part of your life right now, and they can't be too much of your life. I do kind of think throughout this reading, it has sort of felt to me like this person may be more attached to you than you are to them, or they may be more into you than you are, or like whatever has happened, they seem to see you in this like really high light. Whereas I don't think that you don't see them that way, but like I kind of feel like you feel like you'd be okay with or without them. But and they would be too, but I get this sense that like they maybe want it more, or they're more like hurt by anything that has happened, or they're maybe more wanting to make you theirs. Whatever it is, they're a little bit more into it, I think. And you're not really willing to be brought down by somebody else at this point. Like, and I'm not saying that they would bring you down or even that you think that, but like, I just don't think that you're willing to let that happen. And I wonder if either they want commitment or something like that more than you do, or you wanted it and it wasn't happening or something. And so you're like, whatever, I'm going to do this other stuff. That's kind of the vibe. Like you do seem very independent to me, and like, you don't need anybody, or like, you're going to be fine on your own if you have to be. And so I think that there is also advice here to just continue that attitude if you have it, because it is serving you well and it's going to bring you to where you want to be. And I think group 1, that might be all I've got for you. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I would love to hear how this resonated for you. I hope you have a great week. I'll see you soon. Bye. Hi, group 2. You chose the Honey Calcite and the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. Welcome to your reading. We are looking at what someone is thinking about you. Again, this can be a crush, someone you are not getting along with, anyone else that you are wanting to get clarity on. We will look at what this person is like as an energy check, not necessarily who they are to you, but some info about them so that you know this is your reading. We will look at their thoughts about you, their feelings about you, what they're hoping will happen between you, and then advice for you. Okay? It is extremely hot in my apartment, but I can't have the AC on because it's too loud. So I have a giant ice pack in my lap and I'm hoping I won't get too sweaty. Okay, so group 2. Who is this person? What are they like? Okay. We have the Ace of Pentacles. Okay, we've got the Emperor. I'm sorry, we've got the King of Pentacles. So many pentacles. We have it is the Page of Pentacles. Wow, look at this pentacle energy. Okay, so what is this person like? Well, I would say that they are probably very grounded, stable, possibly methodical. I don't want to say calculated, but for some reason that word has come to mind. But I think that they are just more like organized. They are probably an earth sign, or they have an earth sign in their chart. That would be Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus. This could be someone with money, definitely. They could be either really good with money, very good with budgeting, or they have money. It's interesting that we have the Page and the King. So I wonder if they have very youthful qualities and then very like mature adult qualities. Like they seem to have a good balance between like their younger and older qualities, or their like playfulness and their responsibility. I would say this person definitely seems very responsible, dependable, someone you can count on, someone who does what they say. I would say this person's words probably match their actions. I would say they're probably very careful, and that they are probably a planner. This is probably not someone who is very spontaneous. Yeah, they probably like have a schedule or a calendar or a, what's it called? A planner. I'm seeing pens. This person might write a lot, or they jot things down, or they have like a lot of lists, whether they are written lists or they're like a list in their phone. This person definitely has like a to-do list. They probably have a grocery list. They probably have a shopping list. I think they probably get their chores done. I would say their house is probably relatively clean. There are a lot of plants in these cards, so it's possible this person is good with plants or likes plants or has plants. They could be kind of serious. Even though we have the young and the old energy, this person could come across as serious, or like whether you've known them a long time or not, like if you haven't known them long, you might worry that they are too serious, but they definitely have a serious side. But I think that they have another side to them as well. They might be very studious, or they have a really strong work ethic, or whatever they do for money, they take very seriously. They seem to build for a future. This is someone who probably has a good amount of savings, or they invest. And if they do invest, they put it into like safe investments rather than risky investments. I would say this person probably doesn't get like overly loose. Like they probably don't drink too much. They probably, if they do drink or anything like that, it's in moderation. I would say this person probably does a lot of things in moderation. They might have really nice clothes or really nice things, and they might even be, they could be a minimalist. They could also not be, but like they definitely seem to like and care about quality. And so not only do they have quality things in their lives, but if they were to give you a gift or something, they would probably give you a nicer gift or something that is like higher quality, even if it's just like a little thing. This isn't going to be for everybody, but I'm seeing someone eating chocolate. So they might like chocolate, and they might like, you know, the luxuries of life, like a good meal, good food, you know, if they, a high quality wine, you know, this is someone who really appreciates and likes quality. I think they take their relationships pretty seriously too. Like, I don't think they have like a million people in their life. They're not constantly like making new friends or like spreading themselves too thin. I think that just like they like quality in any other area of their life, they also really like it in relationships. So if they deem you a quality person, they will give to you, and they will expect you to be in their life a long time, because that's just what they do when they care about people. And I think that this is someone who probably does commit to things, not necessarily easily and quickly, but when they do commit, I think they commit for the long haul. This is someone that when they commit, they are committed. They don't fake it. They don't pretend. I think what they say is what you get. I was going to say what you see is what you get, but I don't know that that's true, because I think that they might come across a certain way and like more serious at first than they really are. But what they say is what you get. Like they are, I think, truthful. I think you can count on them. I think that this person is probably pretty honest. They seem that way to me, and based on these energies. I think this person also probably really appreciates the little things. And yeah, again, because there's quality in everything that they do and everything that they bring into their life. And so there's an appreciation of the small, the large, the in-between. Whatever they do, either their studies or their work, I think that they do take seriously. And I think that this person is very mature. So you should know by now if this is your person. And if it is your person, let's find out what they think about you. Okay, the 10 of Wands. Uh-oh. I mean, don't be scared, but the 7 of Swords. We've got 2 more here. We've got the King of Cups. And the World. Okay. Okay, is this someone newer to you? Because I kind of think that... that they have some like worries because of experiences in the past. But then it's like they see you as like emotionally mature and like, hold on. Okay. Just going to cover up those nipples. They see you as like emotionally mature and like completion, the end, everything, all of it coming together and being fulfilling. So if this is someone that is not new to your life, there does seem to be some conflict in their thoughts. But so what it feels like to me is in the past, they have had to carry too much of either the emotional burden, the burden of like paying the bills or supporting. It's like somehow in relationship to other people, they have had to do too much, or they've taken on so much responsibility because it's very natural for them. And so they sort of got taken advantage of. That's what it seems to be. And yeah, it definitely seems like, and then that really affected them. It really got to them because they did so much for someone or even multiple people. And that someone or those people not only did not do the same in return, but they took. So it's like they gave and they had someone who took from them. And so there are some fears here and some emotions here and some feelings about like what has happened to them in the past. And because of that this is on their thoughts. So when they're thinking about you, oh my goodness, why don't you want to stay? Okay, let's hope for the best. Okay. So when they're thinking about you, these thoughts are on their mind. And I don't think that you are this person, but they have some fears around that because of what they have been through in the past. And so I think that they really hope for the best, but worry about the worst, because I think it's really, really important for their emotional state to be really healthy and protected, and to be around people who are mature in all ways, but especially emotionally mature, who are going to take into account what this person has to offer, what they do offer, who they are, and appreciates them and loves them for who they are, and doesn't take advantage of what they have to offer, because it definitely seems like someone has. Honestly, I usually really like the Seven of Swords. It often has really positive meanings for me, but in this case, it does feel like someone took from them, and it wasn't fair or right, and it was maybe very deceptive. So they had someone or multiple people in their life that could not be trusted, and there's definitely some feelings about that. And because this is someone who thinks things through and can be somewhat methodical, they're really trying to be careful about this. And the word calculated is coming to mind again, but it doesn't feel like, oftentimes you will hear calculated when someone is like cunning and like plotting against you and manipulative. That's not the energy I get here. I think this person can be trusted, but they're sort of like calculating, I think, in their head, like the risks, like they're calculating how much they might give, how much you might give, like, are things red flags? Are they normal? Like, should they be concerned? Is this fine? Like, they're thinking things through instead of just being in their feelings about like what has happened. Like, because they went through some things, they're trying to be a lot more careful now and to protect themselves, which I think is really smart. And, but they also see all of this good in you. Like, I think that you have displayed a lot of emotional maturity. You've displayed different qualities from this person in the past. Like, I think that you have been vulnerable enough to them that they can understand that you are not going to take advantage of them. You also seem to have a lot to offer, and they wouldn't have to do so much that it becomes like a crazy burden that never ends. It's like, just like we saw, you know, they have a lot to give, but they do not want to be the only one giving. I think they're okay with giving more in at least some area of life. Like, maybe they pay for more because they have more money and they're fine with that, but they don't want to be taken advantage of, where it's like, oh, you know, they were able to foot the bill with someone else, but then that person like always got the most expensive thing on the menu, even though that's not what they wanted. Or they were like, oh, can I have this? You know, it was like something like that, where like, and I'm not saying that's the way they give. It just seems like it with the Pentacles that might be something. But in whatever way that they give, they don't mind if you can't give in the same way, but you need to be able to give in other ways and not just take advantage of them. And I think that they do see that you have like all these other ways of giving that you already have, even if this is very, very new. And it might be that you give more emotionally where they give more financially or something. And it's not that they, if that is the case, it's not that they can't give emotionally. It's just that like, they're looking for a balance, even if it's not a perfect balance or exactly the same things. It's like, okay, I give, do you give? And I think that they do think that you give. And they definitely, I do think this is probably romantic. They seem to see you as very attractive and charming, but that's also scary to them because they've been attracted to someone else before that was charming. And then this is, what happened to them. And so they're being very, very careful. And so their thoughts are like, quite positive about you sometimes, but also there are some worries, and it's honestly less nervousness, I think, than it is trying to be sure, trying to be a little more calculated about this in a healthy way, trying to be very logical about it instead of just going with the flow, because going with the flow doesn't work well for this person, I don't think. I think it's always worked a little bit better for them to plan and to figure things out, and they may be a little bit slower and take their time processing, and that works well for them. And so I think that's what they're doing with you right now. So let's see what they're actually feeling. Okay. I need to cover the nudity on this one. Give me a sec. Okay, we have the Lovers, the High Priestess, and the Queen of Wands. Oh, well, I think their feelings are really quite sweet. So their thoughts are a little bit more like cautious, but when it comes to how they actually feel, my goodness. Well, regardless of your gender, okay, there is some like feminine energy here, but it doesn't matter. How they feel about you is you are beautiful, you are attractive, you are intuitive and smart, creative and interesting. Even though the Empress isn't here, there is Empress energy here. They seem to see you as like very capable and knowing things they don't know and having access to things they don't have access to, because I think that you might be a little bit more emotional where they are a little bit less so. And so I think it's drawing feelings out of them and enhancing their feelings. And also, with the Lovers, they are feeling like this really could be something, and it could be long-term, and it could be special, and it could be something that they could commit to. And again, when this person commits, they commit. Okay. So if they commit to you, they are committed to you. And I think that, there does seem to be some passion between you and some really positive energy. I think that you excite them and you make them feel more passion for life and more enjoyment of life. And like, without you, they can be kind of like, I don't think they're boring, but like a little more boring is the word coming to mind. Like, just because of the way that they are, but you bring more like juice. So it's like you bring more excitement or interesting energy to them, or like just being around you makes them more like excitable. And that might be where their younger qualities come out. Like they get kind of like more silly or playful or funny, or more open or more emotional than they usually are. And I think that they think that you know more about this connection and you understand this connection more than they do. And that you seem to have either a spiritual connection, or you are sort of psychic or intuitive, or you just seem to know things. And I think that whether or not you identify with being like intuitive, you have knowledge and about things that they don't, or they are learning from you, or they feel like they will learn a lot from you. And it's exciting to them that you know things that they don't know, and that you have knowledge in other areas that they don't. Like, it's possible that you think like, oh, like, what do I have to offer? Like, they're so smart and they do all these things and they have all these things. And I don't know that that's the case for you, but if you are thinking that, like, they feel like you have this abundance of like knowledge and perception and all of these things that they don't have. And so they see you as really fascinating and like they want to go deeper and learn more. And I think that they also feel like there is just so much unlimited potential and so much that they could learn from you and experience with you. Yeah, you seem to be very different in a lot of ways. And that's exciting for them because they have all these really positive feelings about that. I think that they want to like protect you or care for you or like offer you what they have to offer that is different from what you have. Like, I think that they want to give you what they have and hope it will be enough for what you give them in return. And while yes, they don't want you to take advantage, I think when it comes down to their feelings, they don't feel that way. They actually feel like you're offering so much and it's just different from what they offer. But there is a tiny bit of fear that I'm sensing of like not wanting to be tricked again with this snake and like with this woman's expression and like something about the angel here. It feels like they do get a little bit in their feelings about that, like a little bit of nervousness, a little bit of worry, and like not wanting to be tricked and like being afraid that they'll be tricked because of like their level of like attraction to you or their level of interest in you. They're afraid that it might blind them to the truth. And so they get a little bit worried about that, I think, and they don't want to make a mistake. But overall, it feels like they have passion for you. They are intrigued by you. They want what you have to offer, and they're not willing to let that go right now, even if they're scared. Yeah, they just see you as really, really beautiful or attractive or stunning and interesting and fascinating. And there's so much to learn by knowing you and experiencing any part of life with you. It would open them up, I think, and they can sense that. And I think they want that. And their feelings for you are really positive and big and warm and like honestly different from the way that they live their day-to-day life. When they think about you and when they're feeling things about you, it's warm and it's open and it's exciting and it's brilliant and it's really lovely. Okay, so what is this person hoping will happen? Okay, we have Death, the Four of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, and the Empress. So what I see here is that they are hoping to end with this Death card, their carefulness, their like extreme guardedness, and their perspective basically where they are scared of what can happen, because what they hope for is to have you in their life. And here we have the Empress. I knew this energy was here. Basically, they want to have like a shift in their thinking and their perception and the way that they feel and see things so that they can give this a real opportunity, a real chance, and open up to it. Because I think that this person, even though they have these really, really positive feelings, this is a thinker. And so the thoughts are actually driving them, I think, sometimes more than their feelings are. And their thoughts were kind of more cautious, more guarded, more fearful. And so I think that because their thoughts are the driving force for them and they are very mental, this, what they want and hope for is that not only can they shift their thoughts, but that maybe they will have what they need in order to shift their thoughts. And we have very like slow energy again here with the Four of Pentacles and with the Hanged Man, so there could be delays here. This could be a really slow processor, an internal processor, someone who really takes their time and who doesn't figure things out right away. They are not led by their feelings. They are led by their thoughts. And because their thoughts are more cautious right now, it could be a little while before they are able to switch basically to thinking and knowing that this is a positive thing for them, because again, they're not feelings oriented. And so even though you might be feelings oriented and you might go with your gut, this person goes with logic and rationality and like things being proven. So they might need proof that you are who you say you are, proof that you are who they feel that you are, and proof that you're not like someone from the past. And so they hope for this and they hope for a shift. But there is still quite a lot of thinking to be done. And whether they want to be doing it or not, they cannot help themselves. This is someone who prioritizes security and safety, especially because of what they've been through. And they really want stability. And they do want that with you, but they need to know that is what's going to happen. And their thoughts need to be very clear. And so it could take them a while for their thoughts to become clear and for them to trust you and trust the situation, because I think that deep down, they know who you really are. But that knowing is still just in feeling and it's not fully in thought. And thought is what is important for them in order to move forward, because thought is what has gotten them to where they are. Thought is what they trust. And even though I think you and I both know that thoughts can't always be trusted, they think that. And they need to be very, very clear in their brain and in their mind about this situation and about you. And they are still protecting themselves. So they want safety. And I don't think that they hope for an ending with you. I think they hope for an ending with how they are perceiving things and an end in their fears. And also, I think they kind of want to stop being like such a thinker and they'd like to feel more. But honestly, like they are so stuck in their head and in the way that they do things that they cannot help it. And honestly, that's all I see with this. So let's just get some advice for you on how you're meant to proceed here with this person. Okay. So we have the Page of Swords, the Five of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Sun. Okay, well, first of all, I don't know that you feel this way, but if you feel like you are in competition with anybody for this person, give that up. Don't try to compete. First of all, you will come out on top. And if not, like, this is not your person. But I don't know that you're feeling that way. But if you are, you will come out on top and you don't need to worry about it. But interestingly, like the last group, your advice is to put yourself first. So don't focus too much on this other person and what they want and what they're doing. Whatever you want is the most important right now. So whatever is important to you right now, go toward that. Go toward the things that give you energy and joy, because whatever is going to happen here is going to happen here. If you feel like you haven't shown this person like what you've got, like if you haven't fully opened up and like shown them like what you have to offer and all of that stuff, like in every area, it might be time to do that, just to like fully give them the full picture. Like, whoever you are, whatever you have to offer in like relationship, go ahead and like let it be known and let it be seen. With the Ace of Wands, I'm just thinking too, like, if this is romantic, which it really seems to be in this case, I think that they are very, very attracted to you. And I think that is in your favor. And also some of the advice would just like be hot, when you see them, like be as hot as you can, be as attractive as you can, make sure you look good when you see them, because like that will also enhance their feelings, which will help balance out their thoughts. Does that make sense? There is a lot of quick moving energy here. And I think that you are definitely probably more spontaneous or impulsive than this person is. And so the advice actually looks like go ahead and be that way. So if there's something you want to say when it comes to this person, if there's something you want to do when it comes to this person, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and say it. If you're afraid that, that you are like that this person like sees red flags where there aren't any, you know, don't worry about it. Be yourself. If this person isn't going to choose you, don't worry. Someone else is, because I can see that you're a catch. But go ahead and like wave your flags. I don't think that you like necessarily have red flags, but like you might have been a little bit nervous about like showing all of yourself because you're afraid this person's going to think it's a red flag. But honestly, what you need to do is be yourself, be very authentic, show who you are, show what you have to offer if this is someone that you want or not. And they're going to see what they see. But I think that they can be very clear-headed. And so even if there are things that they're not sure about, they're going to give it a chance and look and be very clear before they make any decisions. But if you hide anything because you're nervous about how they're going to perceive you, don't worry about that, because it's going to hinder your success. Basically, if you try to hide any part of yourself, because you also may be afraid that they're judging you or something, because this person doesn't always show like every facet of themselves. But if they sense any hiding energy, like it's okay. Like they do seem to like that there are things to continuously learn about you and find out about you, but do not hide any part of yourself, because that's going to seem like a red flag. And also, like, if you're like, oh, they're so like responsible, they're so mature, like I don't want to be like too playful or too silly, because it's gonna like, they're not gonna like that. Like, be playful, be silly, be yourself, be your best self, be your happiest self. And like, whatever you do, be authentic, know your worth, be attractive, all of those things, because that's going to give you the most success. Either you will get the person, if this is the person that is meant for you, or you're going to get somebody better. But basically, you're not meant to hide yourself or who you are. And if this person doesn't choose you, which is possible, okay? If you've been scared to show yourself because they might not choose you, they might not, but don't worry, because someone will. Like, I feel this energy for you that's very like vital, and that's going to be chosen, and that is like not only attractive to this person but to other people. So either way, you don't want to hide any part of yourself, because it's not going to be true to you, and it will drive this person away. If you show everything and they still don't choose you, that is fine. You're going to be fine, but they are more likely to choose you if you show everything. And so do not be afraid to put yourself on the table, you know, to lay it all out there, to be open, to be yourself, and to be your most joyous self. And you know, don't be too careful with them. Just because they are careful doesn't mean that you have to be careful. They might really appreciate the fact that you're not all the time, and it allows them to open up more. And, you know, if you're afraid of them judging you, if they do judge you, fucked up, you know, but like, I don't think that they are, but they might just be a little bit slower to like accept things that are out of their normal way of being or way of seeing the world. And that's okay. Like, part of the reason they're really attracted to you is because of how and who you are. And, you know, sometimes opposites attract, you know? And I think in this case, like, there is a balance that could really work here if both of you are willing to do that. And again, if they commit, it's because they are committed. So put yourself out there, be fearless and willing to see what happens. And if they say, okay, this is what I want, and you know this is what you want, then you're going to have a long, happy relationship. If one or both of you decides no, don't worry, you're going to be fine. I don't know about them, but like I can tell you're going to be, okay? And honestly, group 2, I think that's about it. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. I love your energy. I'd love to hear how this resonated for you. I hope you have a great week. I will see you soon. Bye. Hi, group 3. You chose the Opals and the Fable Hedgehog Tarot. Welcome to your reading. We are looking at what someone is thinking when it comes to you. Again, this can be a crush, someone you're not getting along with, anyone else you are wanting to get clarity on. So we're going to look at what this person is like as an energy check, not necessarily who they are to you, but some info about them so that you know this is your reading. Then we will look at their thoughts about you, their feelings about you, what they're hoping will happen between you, and then finally some advice for you. Okay? So What is group three's person like? Tell me about group three's person. 7 of Swords. The 5 of Pentacles. And the 8 of Cups. Okay. Well, I really thought this was going to be a crush group. For some reason, the pretty opals and the colors were making me think that it was going to be happier energy. And interestingly, this isn't even answering my question really about what this person is like. I think we actually are finding out more about the situation between you and who this person is to you. And I have to say, this doesn't look very happy. I'm going to tell you right now, if you're like excited about somebody, I don't think this is your group. If you just met somebody, I don't think this is your group and you may want to choose again. This is a group where you have gone through something with somebody. I don't think you're either not talking to them at all, or you're not talking to them a lot, or something has recently happened. I think that when we look at, yeah, it's not even what they're like, really. I mean, we could talk about the 7 of Swords being like what they're like. And, we could say that honestly, I really like the 7 of Swords, and it's been coming out. This is the second group it's come out in where it doesn't feel as good to me. They seem to be, this person is possibly deceptive, possibly manipulative, might be a taker. They might live in a victim role and may have like brought you down with them. And they either left you or you left them, or you're in the process of it, or you're thinking about it and you're wondering kind of like what the truth is here. Yeah, this is not a happy situation. This is a painful situation. I feel some anxiety. So you definitely seem to either be currently having anxiety, or you have had anxiety in relation to this person. This is someone who did not bring a lot of good to your life. It seems like they changed your life in somewhat negative ways, or they changed your circumstances in negative ways, or they changed your health, or they changed your emotional state. I do think you probably have experienced some physical issues because of this person. With the 5 of Pentacles, it is making me think that your health has either declined or you've experienced health issues because of the stress this individual has put you through. I wonder if you sometimes are thinking that you're not sure if it's really them or not. Like you're wondering, like, was it that bad? Am I overreacting? Maybe I would have had these health problems anyway. Maybe like they really are a good companion if we can just get through this rough patch. Like you may be going back and forth with your thoughts about this. And yet, I'm here to say that the energy is not very positive, and that it feels pretty negative to me, and that it feels really sad and anxiety ridden and unhealthy. And I think that if you have walked away or thinking about walking away, I actually think that this might be the right decision, because the energy here feels quite clear to me right away. It feels upsetting. I feel like with this person, you really felt like you were growing something. And as that thought comes to me, I almost feel like I'm going to cry. I feel like this has brought a lot of sadness to you. And in particular, because you saw this like being something romantic, platonic, I don't know. But you saw this person maybe being in your life, and like you would help them when they needed help, and then they would help you when you needed help. And like, this is how you saw it going. And it was like, you would weather through the storms together. You would, get through things together. You would weather through change together. And what I think is happening here is that it really wasn't as together as you thought it was. I think you saw it as being together, and that you may have like altered yourself or your energy, or things about you to be more in tune with this person and their needs and their wants and their lifestyle maybe. And maybe you saw each other as like quite similar, or you found similarities within each other and you loved them. And I think you had a lot of commitment toward this person. And unfortunately, I don't think that they were the same way. And I think that they were kind of out for themselves and really liked you helping them or taking care of them, or, everything that you gave, because in your perception, you were growing together and you were creating memories and you were moving through things together in order to get stronger or closer or whatever. And the whole time they were being sort of deceptive, and they were out for themselves and being kind of selfish and self-absorbed. And they were taking your love and kindness and all of these things and basically getting away with it for a while. And I think it may have taken you a while to wake up to it as well. And I'm seeing these red flags in the background. I think that there were red flags, and you can see that in hindsight, but I think that you may have also seen those red flags maybe early on or during the course of this relationship. And, you sort of it's like, it's a carnival over here. And it's like, you sort of tried to make them seem fun, or like they weren't that bad, or like you reframed them. It was like, oh, here's a red flag. Well, maybe it doesn't mean what I think it means. Like maybe it means that they're just like spontaneous. It's like you were like putting like a happy spin on like their negative qualities, or like not seeing them for what they really were, and maybe seeing them as like colorful or like having character. In reality, it was like they were kind of shady, honestly. I think that you really tried for togetherness, and you tried to maybe communicate with this person and like make things work. And it's making me feel like I'm going to cry again, because this feels really, really sad, because I think that you put a lot of energy and a lot of yourself into this, and a lot of like trust, even when you knew maybe you shouldn't. And like, you put your own good values and your truth and your goodness and your kindness and your openness. And like, I just see all of this giving that you did. Oh, it's making me so sad. I'm so sorry that you went through this, or that you are going through this, because I can see like what a kind soul you are. And it is like making me feel really upset for you. So basically, you put a lot into this, and this person did not put the same in. They pretended to, or you may have thought they were, because you see the best in people, or because their words were really good, but their actions never truly matched up. And like, it's like you saw these two like swords with these hearts, like you two together, like grounded, and like together, and like, and here you are walking through the storms together, but this person was just out for themselves. They wanted as much as they could get. And not only did they treat you like you were not enough for them, but it seems like they were just collecting other people, or collecting what you had to give them. And it does kind of seem like they were very out for themselves. And yeah, I do think for some people here, they were collecting people, and that they kind of like were always like, love bombing, or like diving in and out of relationships, or always having like a new best friend, or there was always like, or a new friend group. It's like they were collecting people because it was never enough. Like they needed more. And you were enough, but they treated you like you were not. And they took advantage of you, I think, in ways that you were really beginning to realize fully. And so here you are, realizing that you can't do this anymore. And even if they were the one to walk away, I think that you either walked away too, or you're realizing that this what this was, and that it wasn't what you thought it was. It wasn't what they said it was. It wasn't what it seemed like it was on paper, because I think that there were lies and illusions and deceptions and hidden agendas. And I think maybe you still question it, because like with all these little hearts, it makes me think that like you still have like love for this person, fondness for this person. You still see the good things. You remember the good memories if it's been a while, and you wonder if you made a mistake or if you're seeing this clearly. And so I think we're going to find out more information as we get further into how they're thinking and feeling, even though that is more about them. And so I think we should probably take it with a grain of salt, because I'm telling you that I don't think this person has the best intentions. And when we talk about like what they are like, it doesn't even really matter what they're like, and that's why it's not here. But I will say that they are deceptive, that there were illusions here, that they have lied to you, that there are some things you will probably never know the truth about, that they probably either left you for other connections, or, it's like they're hoarding connections. And even though you might have been more special or something like that, they have an issue where they can't either commit in a real way, or they get bored of people, or nothing is ever enough for them. And they are always seeking. And they have this lack energy and this lack mentality, and they are always like suffering. And so they will drag people through their suffering with them. And, it may be like you might be the person who had your own suffering. And so because of that, you learned to be kinder to people or something, so that they wouldn't have to go through what you did. But this is the type of person who perpetuates suffering. So they went through it. Well, they're going to put other people through it, and other people should have to suffer too. It's that kind of thing, whether it's conscious for them or not. So what are they thinking? What are their thoughts about you right now? Two of Cups, the Empress, the Eight of Pentacles. Well, their thoughts about you are a lot more positive, probably because you're so great, and they are recognizing that more now, more than ever. And they see you as being very special, as having a close and special bond, maybe as being soulmates of some kind or soul companions of some kind. They see you as having like a special bond or a special understanding of one another. They see you as very special and abundant and beautiful and precious and sweet and nurturing and kind and loving and able to provide, and very giving and very creative, possibly intuitive. They see you as like good quality. They see you as a quality person, and also someone who appreciates beauty and appreciates quality. So I don't know if you have like a beautiful home or just good taste or something like that, but they see you as also knowing more than them in some way. And like, yeah, you're just very attractive, and like, they see you as being able to like get anything or anyone that you want. Like you could have anyone, because I think that they know that you are, when it comes to a romantic connection, they see you as like a wonderful partner. But even if it's not romantic, they see you in that way somehow. Like you're a wonderful companion. You're the type of person people want to be close to and feel safe with. And they're thinking a lot about that. They may be like, if you're not talking, they may be looking at old pictures of you. They may be thinking about the way that you looked, or the way that you smelled, or the way that your house was, or your tastes and preferences. And like, I'm seeing someone like walking down the street, like they see you walking toward them. They have these memories of you that are coming to mind, like really sweet, good memories of like how wonderful you were and how much you brought to their life. And like, also with the 3, with the Empress, it's making me think of communication. And so I think that they also think about They may be looking at old texts or emails or things like that, or listening to old voicemails or voice notes, or they are thinking about the way that you communicated together or the way that you communicated with them. Maybe how like sweet you were, or how kind or understanding, or how funny you were, or like the way that you worded things or the phrases you used. Somehow they're thinking a lot about like your communication style, and like in a positive way. So if you guys had like fights and things, I don't think that's currently really on their mind a ton. They're thinking more about your positive qualities. I think they're thinking about what it would take to work this out, what it would take to get you back into the state of being like Two of Cups. I think they're giving it a lot of thought. They're like, okay, well, maybe I need to do this, or I do both of these things, or all of these things. Like, it seems like they think about like communicating with you. And so they like, type up or write out a draft, and then they think about that, and then they adjust the draft, and then they have some other thoughts and their mood changes, and then they adjust the draft again, and they're trying to like perfect it because they want it to be good enough for you, because they know that they do know that you're worthy. They didn't treat you that way, but they know it to be true. And now they think like, yeah, I really don't think you're in communication with this person. That's likely to me. You know, they're like sort of in their mind, hard at work at figuring this out. So they're thinking it through. How can I get group 3 to talk to me again? How can I apologize? Because I think that they did something possibly to betray you, or you just got sick of all the like lies or the misbehaviors or like whatever. Or, you know, they may have walked away and now they have some regret about that. And it's actually not even like a ton of regret. It's more like they want the good back. And so I think that they're also like putting you on a pedestal a little bit. And, they may be putting the relationship on a pedestal too, but like definitely they're putting you on a pedestal. And so they're remembering the good things. Those good things are expanding in their mind. They're not remembering the things that may have irritated them or they didn't like or whatever. They're specifically thinking through all of the wonderful things about you and the things that they're missing out on now and the things that they want back. And they're trying to figure out how they can get that back. So a lot of their mental energy when it comes to thinking about you is trying to figure it out. It's having positive, good memories about you and nostalgia and thinking that like you're meant to be in some way, whether that's romantic or platonic. And, yeah, they really want to be face to face with you, and they want to have a face to face conversation. They want to be on the same emotional page. They want you to see them positively and see them like working hard to get you back, or they want you to think that they are working hard to get you back. They want you to think that they have like a lot to offer you now, and that they've been working on themselves and that they've been making progress. I don't know that they have. My guess would be no, based on the original energy, but I don't know that for sure. I would say that they are thinking a lot about you, and I think that they have like daydreams about you and sort of like fantasies about you and like reuniting, or like you reaching out to them and like being kind to them. You know, I don't know if they are like the people that are in their life now. They're just kind of bored of now because they get so easily bored of people. And so now they're remembering you because you're not around, and they're like, oh, remember group 3? Like, you seem so special and beautiful and magical and wonderful. And you are. But, you know, part of what's happening is like them putting you on a pedestal and only seeing those qualities. So it's like, well, if they came back around or you let them back in, would they treat you as such, or would they just do the same shit that they always do? You know what I mean? I think that's probably what would happen, but I'm not going to tell you that for sure. Yeah, they could also be like working on their abundance, their job, making more money. bringing more money in, working on their savings, trying to be more responsible. And I think that has to do with you because they also think that that would be a benefit to you if they were more responsible. You might see them in a better light. Let's see what their feelings are when it comes to you. 7 of Cups. The 8 of Swords. The Star. And the Devil. Okay, their feelings are flip-flopping, going up and down, back and forth. It's this way today, it's this way tomorrow, it's this way this minute, and this way the next minute. It's possible that this person has emotional regulation issues. I don't know that for sure. You would know that. But just with the way that their feelings are flip-flopping. And that's okay. Those of us that are in tune with our emotions can go up and down. Okay. But it is possible that this person does have an emotional regulation issue or disorder. And 2 with the 7 of Cups makes me think that too. It's their feelings are kind of all over the place. We've got the Star, we've got the Devil, it's up and down, this and that, feeling stuck and trapped, and then feeling free and feeling like you're healing, feeling all kinds of things, lots of memories. It's just kind of chaotic, I guess, is what I would say. And it makes sense because your feelings may also be kind of chaotic when it comes to this person if they put you through stuff and you loved them and gave a lot because you're probably processing a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised if your feelings and thoughts are also kind of all over the place sometimes, but you also went through it with them. They seem to just have this issue as a general thing that is happening to them in life. And also with the Devil, it makes me think that their feelings are possibly influenced by substances. That doesn't have to be the case, but some people here it definitely is. And so when they are, high on something, they may be feeling more positive, or they think there's a chance to come back with you, or they feel like they are they are higher. So they think that they see life in they think it's a truer way or something when they are on something, but it's a trap because they're not seeing themselves clearly, the situation clearly, other people clearly. And also then there's the down where, if they drank, they have the hangover. If they're on something else that's addictive, then they have the withdrawal time, so then it's down, and then they're dark, and then they're feeling trapped, and they can't see clearly or understand, and they feel trapped by the thoughts of you. They are chained to their thoughts of you. And, it's they feel trapped by this. They don't know what to do. They don't know. It's overwhelming. There are too many choices, too many things. And there are a lot of feelings with this person. And the way that this ribbon is around this hedgehog, it feels like this, it's mummified. So that makes me kind of feel like they wonder if they are dead to you, or they feel sort of dead to you, or they feel like it's a stuckness. I mean, the 8 of Swords is so much stuckness anyway, but they feel stuck in this state of being dead to you in some way. So it's they can't escape that. They can't escape, the boundaries you've put up, the blocks you've put up, if you're not talking to them, they feel bound by that specifically, and they feel like they can't escape it. And that they're always going to be in this state of being focused on you, but not being able to do anything about it. And just being sort of dead to you till the end of time, but not being able to decompose. So they feel like they're going to be stuck in that state of feeling stuck. They feel like they're going to be stuck feeling stuck. And there's like a helpless feeling too. It's almost like this like puddle under this hedgehog 2 makes me think like they peed their pants. And it's like, I'm helpless. I couldn't move because I'm in this state you put me in. Like there's a sense of blame here of like anything that goes wrong for them, any mistake they make, any accident that they have, anything where they don't like take the reins for their own life or their own responsibilities or whatever, anything like that, they're sort of blaming on you because they're like, well, group 3 put me in this state and I'm here because of them. And so like, just arms crossed, it's your fault. There's this delusion where they are blaming you. And I wouldn't be surprised if they've blamed you for things in the past that weren't your fault. Yeah. And with the devil too, it's just making me think like this is you and this is them. And it's like, they're like, come on, like, please just give me a chance. But you're not even focusing on them anymore. Like, yes, there's still a chain between you because I think that both of you feel kind of chained by this, or your energy is still very connected. I mean, you're thinking about them right now, but you're refocusing, like you're looking at me. And so, you're paying attention to what's happening right now. You're paying attention to other things. Like you might still feel chained to them, but they're so focused on you and you're starting to focus elsewhere. And, and with this devil, the fire here is on this hedgehog. You have like this, I don't know, flower or berry or whatever it is. It's like you seem to have like opportunity and fruit and like, they are actually bound by the devil. They are the ones that can't leave. You can. You could slip this off your neck. It's not even that tight. But they want you bound to them by quote unquote love, this heart right here. But it's not love because they are acting from a place that is not in alignment with love or true love, whether this is romantic or not. Like, I don't think that they really have clarity on what love is. And I think that you do. And so, I mean, that is really sad. You have the ability to leave this situation and walk away, but their feelings are so bound up in it that they can't. And I think they see you as this star. I think that they feel like you're healing, you're coming back to yourself. The world is bright for you. It's dark for them. That things are changing for you and that your energy is flowing and that you are releasing them. Yeah, definitely with these like vessels or the pitchers or vases or whatever, they have little hearts on them too. And like, it makes me think that they feel like you're dumping their love out. Like you're healing by releasing them. You're like, okay, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. You're releasing them and moving forward is what I think that they feel. And also, I think their feelings about you change like day to day and even quicker than that, minute to minute sometimes. That might be the same for you because you're processing all of this and going through this. But, we have like hearts on some of these and then we have this skull. So it's like sometimes they're like hearts, hearts, hearts. Like, I love group 3. I miss group 3. I want to talk to group 3. Maybe I can do this. And then sometimes it's like, this is over. I need to accept it. Or they like feel hatred towards you or anger towards you or like, that kind of thing. But I think there's also a lot of memories that are coming up for them and memories that have emotion involved with them. So, they might remember like things like being cute between you, or they remember like scaring you, or, even like they remember like having good meals with you or like buying things or giving or receiving gifts. Like they might remember like being at your house or you being at theirs, or maybe you shared a home. And they remember like seeing movies or reading the same book, or like there's all these memories that they're holding, and those come through their feelings a lot because they have a lot of emotions tied to a lot of the memories with you. And again, I'm seeing them maybe looking through old pictures. So they may be looking through pictures that remind them of moments that you had together. And so a lot of their feelings are bound up in that. It is possible with the devil too, that they are bound up with another person right now or other people, and that either those people are not good for them or are encouraging like substance use or bad habits, or these people are just not you, you know, and they don't like pay as much attention to your person, or they're not as giving, or they're not as beautiful, or they're not as, you know, they don't fulfill the same things that you fulfilled. And so there's possibly a comparison happening as well. And they really seem to feel like you have freed yourself. And I think that they feel like they're the ones tied up in this and that you're not thinking about it anymore. I think you're definitely thinking about this possibly a lot, but they don't know that, or they don't think that that's what's happening. And, you know, I think that it feels like to me like their home where they rest, not their actual like living space, but like the way that they are every day, their body, their mind, like where their energy is, their home in that sense is not very happy. It is not very healthy. It is dark. It is hard to see. There are delusions. There is stuckness. It's, you know, they're basically stuck in a mindset and like feelings that are not very positive. I wonder if they have health problems right now that they are going through and their body doesn't feel very good. I wonder if they're very like anxious. Like there are unpleasant negative feelings that are like constantly bubbling under the surface like lava. I almost see like a big cauldron with like a green bubbling potion and like a big like spoon being stirred. And so it feels like that's what's happening under the surface for them, but they're not paying attention to it and it's going to bubble over and boil. But also the image is making me wonder if you have like cast a spell on them or anything like that. I don't know if you're that type of person, but like, not that I think you've done like any revenge spells or anything, but you may have like done some magic. I don't know, or your intentions have been put out in that way. Or maybe you have asked the universe for justice or something like that. But I do think like under the surface, this person's feelings are actually not good, and they're constantly like bubbling up. Like they need to be seen, they need to be dealt with, but they're like focusing on this and like maybe taking substances or doing unhealthy things, having habits that are not good for them. And honestly, the lava or the potion or whatever is bubbling under the surface for them, the negativity, the despair, the stuckness, all of it, it is coming to the surface. And so that's why it's showing up in their feelings here too, is like, it's going to have to be dealt with. It's going to have to be faced. They can keep trying to escape it, but they're not going to make it. And then you really are going to have fully healed and moved on. And you won't even be, you'll just be a thought in their head, a feeling in their body, like a memory, because they're staying stuck and they need to turn around and face themselves. They need to look at what's bubbling under the surface, but they're refusing to. What do they hope will happen between you? Well, I think we already know, but let's find out. Five of Swords. Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, the High Priestess. Well, one message with the Five of Swords is they're hoping to be like the victor. They're hoping they will win and get their way. And I think also for some reason it's making me think that like, they hope that like other people in their life that aren't as like great as you, or they just see as like not as amazing, will just kind of like drift away, and then they can like pick up the pieces and like come back to you, and that you will accept them. I think with multiple queens here that they hope that regardless of gender, they hope that you will be on the same like level playing field, that even though there may be differences between the pentacles and the swords, you will be able to come together and, be on an even playing field, be on the same page, understand one another, that you will see them as as like good enough or on your level, or they can like prove that they're on your level, and they hope that like you'll see past anything that is not healthy or good, and that you'll see them in a bright light that you saw them in before. But I wonder if they think this isn't going to happen because these queens are turned away from one another. And this queen, who I think might be you, can see that there's still like deception and stuff here, because that's what I'm feeling with this Five of Swords. It's reminding me a lot of the Seven of Swords right now. And so I wonder if they think that this is just a pipe dream and it's not actually going to happen. They don't really believe in it right now. But also, because this is a 5, it's making me think about change, and that you might think that they have changed, that you will see that they're not the same that they used to be, and that they have changed. And now, instead of like the 5 of Swords or the 7 of Swords, they are this Queen of Swords. Like, you know, they're not like collecting anybody anymore or collecting things. It's just their one sword. They're clear and you can see them clearly and you accept them, and they have something to offer and you have something to offer. I think that they hope that you will be as wonderful to them as you once were, as kind to them as you once were, as open and giving. And, I think that they know they don't have as much to give as you, and they're very aware of that, but they're hoping that you'll accept them anyway and accept that they have more to give possibly, and that maybe somehow it can be sort of more reciprocal. They're hoping that if you've blocked them or something, that you'll reconsider, that you might consider just slightly opening the door to like see if they've changed or give them a chance to talk. They're hoping that you'll let them in to like see the beauty of you a little bit again, and you won't be just cold to them. With the High Priestess, I think that they're hoping it'll be the two of you again, that you'll be bonded again, and that you will forgive them for their secrets and lies and omissions and the things that they hid or didn't share with you, that you won't see it as just black and white, but you will see why it got muddled, and like you will have an understanding of why it was the way that it was, and that you will forgive them for the secrets. They're hoping for abundance with you again. And like, even if it starts out slow, like it's like I can hear them saying like something about, let's do this slowly. Let's just do it one thing at a time. Let's not rush into this. Don't worry. Like, I'm willing to put in the work. It's like that kind of thing, but it feels like false promises to me, because I think that is what they think you want to hear, or what they think will work. And it feels sort of manipulative to me, or like, I don't know if they even realize they're manipulative or not, but like conscious or unconscious, it does seem like manipulative energy, but they hope to like say the right things, to make you open to them again. And yeah, they hope that you're not totally turned off to them, and that somewhere within your like wisdom and intuition and your gut, you will, you're still open to them, and you're not just like totally closed off, and you know that there is something special between you. It's that kind of thing. So basically they hope to be on the same page, for you to open the door to them, to see that they've changed and to offer you something. But let's see what the advice is for you. The Hermit, 6 of Swords, the World, and the 9 of Swords. I don't feel like it goes this way though. That feels better to me. Okay. So your advice is, well, with the swords, it's time to get your thoughts clear about this, about what has happened, about what's right, what's wrong, how your feelings have impacted your thoughts about this, what your feelings mean, what you need to move toward and forward to. But there's a need with the Hermit to go within, to spend some time with yourself, quiet time, thinking this through and feeling it through. So I also feel like you might be writing things down. Write down the things that have happened, maybe good and bad, maybe just the bad, and see how bad they actually are on paper. This is, and like, especially because this light is on this little hermit's like forehead, it feels like you really need to get clarity and get your thoughts clear and get your mind clear and have mental clarity. And also, if you are a spiritual person at all, connect spiritually and see if you can get some spiritual wisdom. But you really, really have to get clear with yourself and not necessarily get everybody else's opinions and thoughts, not take this person's thoughts or opinions into account at all, and only yours. How do you feel? How did you feel when they did certain things? What makes sense? What doesn't make sense? What do you think? Like, what would you tell somebody else if this happened to them? Like, really spend the time getting very, very clear on this. But I have to say, it does feel like an ending with this person and then with this relationship and a movement toward fulfillment. And there are multiple endings here. There are nines. There is, the last major arcana card. So there are endings. There's a 6 of swords. You are moving away. So it definitely feels like there is an ending here that you've got to come to terms with, accept, or make a decision about. Whatever that ending is, I do think that this relationship is ending, but you will know better than I do if that's the case for you or not. And this will be a successful completion that will bring wonderful things into your life. Okay. So spend the time that you need getting very, very clear and very, very certain. And, even if you do get clear and certain, you may have days, moments, weeks where your feelings change, where you're unsure again, where you are tied up with emotions. Maybe you can't sleep. Maybe you don't feel well. Maybe you don't have certainty and you don't know what to do. And that's okay. It's okay that there may be like waves, but get as clear as you can about what's right and what's wrong, what's right for you. And spend the time going through the anxiety, the pain, whatever it is, because this is also going to bring clarity to you if you can spend the time moving through the feelings and the emotions and everything and the thoughts and everything that's happening. And then when your thoughts are clear, what are you going to move away from and what are you going to move toward? Okay. And who's coming with you? You've got to think about too, like, what will give you the most happiness, the most joy, the most feelings of fulfillment, and move toward that. And move toward your dreams of what you really want in your life, your dreams of the types of relationships you want in your life, the type of work you might want in your life, the type of everything. What is it that you want and how can you start moving toward it and taking steps toward it? And there may be help for you on the way, but the advice is to get clear, move through your feelings and emotions, and move away from that which is not right for you, move toward harmony, balance, peace, a proper ending where a new beginning can begin and where everything is working out in your favor, because I think that there is a future where you have success and where everything is working out in your favor. So maybe start telling yourself that it is. Okay, group 3, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I would love to hear how this resonated for you. I hope you have a wonderful week. I will see you soon. Bye. Hi, group 4. You chose the Sea Geode and the Mystic Fairy Tarot. Welcome to your reading. We are looking at what someone is thinking when it comes to you. This can be a crush, someone you're not getting along with, anyone else who you are wanting to get clarity on. We are going to look at what this person is like as an energy check, not necessarily who they are to you, but some info about them so that you know this is your reading. We will look at their thoughts about you, their feelings about you, what they're hoping will happen between you. And then finally, we'll get some advice for you. Okay. Okay. So for group 4, what is their person like? What can you tell me about group 4's person? we have the 10 of Wands, the 9 of Wands, the Lovers, and the Knight of Wands. It's so funny in this deck that the 10 of Wands and 9 of Wands are like so similar. It's like clearly the same scene, but like different aspects of that scene. But these cards are making me think that this person is not afraid of a challenge, that they may be good at thinking things through and figuring things out. Also with the Lovers, it makes me think that they're not afraid of like a long-term project or something that takes a while, or in fact, they like things that are long-term and take a while to figure out. I think that their brain is very good at figuring things out, at solving issues, and knowing how to do things, even if they have to be really resourceful about it. Yeah, because of the Knight of Wands too, and all this Wands energy, I think that this person can be very creative in the way that they solve problems or in how they go about things. Like, I think their mind is very creative. They could be a creative person, but the way the creativity is coming through seems to be more related to how they solve and resolve things and how they think. And while it seems like they're not afraid of like the length of a project or a relationship, or like committing to something until the end, and I think that they really follow through till the end, they also have like a quickness to them and can make quick progress. This could be someone who has fire in their chart or is a fire sign, just because of all this Wands energy. So that could be Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. I think this person has a good deal of passion, either they have like a zest for life, or they are passionate about their projects or the things that they undertake. They may be very passionate in their relationships or very passionate with you. Yeah, they're really not afraid of a challenge. And it's possible that they could be really good with animals too. Like maybe they really like to rescue animals, or they have a job with animals, or they're just good with them, or good with kids. They may be really good at calming people down who are like in crisis. So that could also be something that they do in their work. They could be in mental health, or they could just be like, you might know them as like being able to calm down you or someone else in their life. Or if they have difficult people in their life, they may be extra good at maintaining harmony, or being like sort of a peacemaker, or sort of just calming people down from like a heightened state. This person is good at like pushing through. I've already kind of said that, but they can really push through to get to a solution. And that just goes along too with them not being afraid of a challenge. And also, this person is on this side in the 10 of Wands and on this side in the 9 of Wands. And it makes me think that they are also really good at seeing not only multiple solutions or multiple options, and they're good at thinking that through, but I think that they can also see multiple sides to like an argument, for example. So they also might be someone who like, again, could be like kind of a peacemaker between people, or like a mediator, because they can sort of see multiple sides to things. And I think that that is in multiple areas of their life as well. Like, and they can also see like the good, I think, in different things as well. Or like, for some reason, I'm seeing like them in a kitchen cooking with somebody, and like they think you should cut the broccoli like this and you should cook it like this. But the person they're cooking with is like, well, I think it should be done like this. And this is not going to be someone who's like, no, my way is right. Like they're going to be like, maybe you're right. I'll try it your way. Like maybe we try it both ways. Like they may be very good at compromise as well. Or just being open to multiple points of view. With the Knight of Wands, I think they are also like unafraid to maybe state their opinions or their beliefs or how they feel about things. This person could be very committed. I don't know if I already said that, but they could really commit to what's important to them, or when they've moved towards something, they will commit to it and see it through until the end. They don't seem like flighty. Let's see what they think about you. The world. They think the world of you. The Wheel of Fortune. The Star. And the Page of Cups. Okay, wow. We've got a lot of major arcana. And then we have like this card that's making me think of a little bit of like romance or like crush energy or like new relationship energy. So this could definitely be a crush or a new love or someone new in your life, or just someone that like you continue to have a crush on even after years. Yeah, this seems to be someone that is important to you, or you are very important to them. They think very important things about you. You make a major impact on their life. You're important. And I think that you might be long-term for them. And there's also this like very sweet, like crush energy of like, hi, you know, it's like new love. Yeah, I definitely think with the world, it's making me think that they think the world of you. They think you're incredible. And because there are two figures here that are mirror images of each other, and usually it's just the one, I think that they also think that you're like better than the rest. Like you're double what anybody else is at least, you know, you're 100 times better than anybody else. You're extra special. You're incredible. It's almost like, you know, they could search the world all over and still choose you on the other side. And the Wheel of Fortune is making me think not only that this feels like a fated relationship to them, and they think of you as like fate, but also that they think they are so lucky to have you, and that there is an element of luck involved here, and that it just feels like they hit the jackpot. Like they won the lottery. They found you. You're the best. You're the star. You're the best they could get. And like, it's almost like you're all of this amazing, special, major arcana energy. You're like larger than life. You're perfect. You're all of these things. And they're just like, in the corner, like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe I got group 4. Like, it's this, like, they feel like so like almost childish in comparison, because they're like, oh my gosh, like group 4 is amazing, you know, like they see you as, I don't even have a word for how they see you. It's like they almost feel like they're not on your level, but like they don't even care that they're not on your level, because you're just so wonderful that like, it's not like they even compare you that much. It's like they think like they're just so lucky to be getting your time and attention. And like, even though they kind of feel like they're not on your level, they still feel worthy. Like this isn't someone who's like, oh, I'm not good enough, or like, oh, why would they ever love me? They're just like, I know group 4 is amazing in ways that I can't even touch, but I'm just so lucky to be here that I don't even care. I'm not going to worry about it. Being in their energy is the best thing that could ever happen to me. It's like that. It's like, very sweet. They are enamored with you. They think you are so attractive and special and like incredible and like literally better than everyone else. And they can't believe their luck. Like they found the best. They know they found the best. They don't need to keep looking. You are the best. You are just, your presence for them is healing. It's like they feel healed by you. They think about you as magical and wonderful and healing and special and bright and beautiful. Like you illuminate their life and their thoughts, and like their thoughts about you are just sweet and happy and fulfilled. And like, they just think, oh my gosh, like they can't believe their luck. They can't believe you're paying attention to them. You know, it's like sometimes they literally cannot believe you are giving them the time of day, and that you are gracing them with your presence. Like when they think about you, they just get excited. They have excitement. They have joy. They have like, their thoughts, I think, are sort of like even disjointed. Like it's not even like they have very clear thoughts. It's like their thoughts are very tied into their feelings, but also it's just like they can't believe it. That's basically what I see. Let's see how they feel about you. What are their feelings? the Priestess, Four of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles and the Eight of Wands. Again, they feel like not unworthy, but like you're a little too good for them. That's what I sort of get here. And it is possible that you are older than this person. It might not be the case. You might be older, you might be more mature. That's not for sure. I think that they feel a lot of security with you and a lot of abundance with you. They feel safe. They feel seen. They feel protected, nurtured. They feel like, even though they feel like you're better than them, they feel like you allow them to be on your level. And there's a safety with that as well. Yeah, there's a lot of feeling like very secure, very safe, nurtured. I think that you're good at like caring for them, or you're a very caring person. I think they feel like everything's okay when they're around you, which is also part of the reason that like you seeming like out of their league in some way doesn't totally upset them, because they feel so relaxed and safe around you, even though there's like excitement and joy and like all of that. The feelings of safety and groundedness that you provide help them to feel like somehow you kind of are on the same level and it's fine. I think that they might feel like you have a solid physical connection. Not necessarily, I mean, maybe in the passionate sense, but like also just like maybe the way that you hug or hold hands is really comforting and feels really nice, and like feels really, just comforting for them as well. And I think that they also feel like you have an intuitive connection, and that maybe you can sort of like finish each other's thoughts, or if they think about something, you then like text them about that thing and they're like, oh my God, I was just thinking about that. Like you seem to have sort of an intuitive connection, or they feel very like intuitively drawn to you. Like they have a gut feeling that you are special and that you are safe and that you are meant for them in some way. They feel like they can trust their gut when it comes to you. Again, it's making me think that they feel like there was an element of fate here, that you were fated to come together, that you were meant to be together, that like in the spiritual realm, it was decided like you and them would be together. And so they feel this really strong, intuitive knowing that like there was a meant to be-ness about this. And this Eight of Wands is clearly in the same story as the 9 and 10 of Wands that we had. So I think that they also feel, well, one thing is I think that they feel like you respect their other like projects and their needs and the way that they are and the way that they function in the world. And that also makes them feel really safe and connected to you. I think that they feel seen by you, that you understand who they are, that you see them and respect them. So yeah, they feel really comforted by that. And they feel that they are even better at doing things with you around. Like you sort of help their process. And also because these other Wands cards were making me think so much about like commitment and pursuing something all the way through. This says to me that they feel committed to you and will see it all the way through. Or if they haven't committed yet, if this is still very early days, they will not be afraid to commit to you. And that might be the case. Like you might know that they're more committed than you are at this point. I don't know. But they will certainly see it through because they see you as so special and so amazing. And they feel so safe and secure with you that this is really what they want. And they're not afraid to move toward it. And in fact, they're excited to do so. They don't seem to have a lot of fear or nervousness or worry or anxiety when it comes to you or this relationship. I think they're fully on board. They've probably either expressed that or you've started to pick up on that. But yeah, they're not afraid. And they would like to work in tandem with you, I think. Let's see what they are hoping will happen. What is Group 4's person hoping will happen between them? The 10 of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles. the Two of Wands, and the Priest, which would be the Hierophant. Okay, so okay, there's a few things. Well, let's start over here. With the Two of Wands, this is actually giving me some Two of Cups energy, but like in a sort of sillier, more playful way. So I think what they're hoping for is that not only will you choose one another and form a close, happy bond, but that in some way you'll sort of be like your child selves with each other and be kind of silly together and playful together, and be like very authentic in yourselves. And yeah, they want happiness together, and they want it to be you and them specifically. And like the way that they are like, shaking hands, it feels like your person is like, let's seal the deal, baby. Like, let's make this happen. It's you and me, right? You good with that? Like, I'm committed. Are you going to commit to this? But they're kind of like silly with it. It's almost like they want to like, I'm seeing the way like kids, like, I'm not suggesting you do this, but like, they'll prick their finger and like, they become like blood siblings by like mixing their blood. It's like something like kids would do, or like they spit in their palm and then they shake hands. They want to sort of like have a commitment with you in sort of like a way that feels sort of like playful and like fun spirited. Like, even though they're so serious about it, they don't come about it in a serious way. And they're hoping that like, the energy between you that's really like fun and silly will come through even in like the commitment to one another, if you both choose to do that, or even if you are already committed to one another. It's like they hope to just continue to have a commitment where there's a lot of fun and a lot of liveliness and play and silliness and laughter and humor between you. And yeah, they always want that to be alive in the relationship. And it's so sweet, they always want to have that, even when things are like serious, which with the Pentacles, they also do hope for, that safety and security to always continue, that feeling of, and also abundance, to feel like prosperous and abundant together, to have a relationship that has a lot of abundance and where there's a lot of joy and fun and affection and sweetness, and where there isn't like disharmony or fighting or arguments, where it's like we get along, there's like attraction to one another, there is just sweetness. Like, that's what they really want. And they want you to continue to feel safe with them and make them feel safe with you. And they want you to feel abundant. They want you to feel like this is something that you want and something that is good for you and positive for you. And they want to make sure that they are always giving in that way, so that you feel like your safest, happiest self, because that's really important to them too. And I'm also hearing loyalty. So I think that they feel very loyal to you and want the same in return. And as long as those basic values continue to be there, they're in this for the long haul. And with the Priest, if this is romantic, which I think it is, like, they might want to get married. And, it's possible there are people listening to this that are married already. But like, I think for the most part, these are newer relationships, and this person might want to marry you or like, have some kind of traditional commitment in a way. Even if you don't want marriage, they want to be committed to one another, probably living with one another, having sort of either traditional roles or just having traditions with you. But this is someone who's in it for the long haul. They want to go all the way with you. And yeah, there's so much happiness and joy. They just want it to be really happy. They want it to be joyful. They are just like hoping for the best. With the 10 of Pentacles, like, that is the best. It is everything you could ask for. They may want pets with you or kids with you or projects. They definitely want to like enjoy good meals or good food or good experiences. I also feel like the way that she's like snacking it, like it's almost like popcorn, like she's watching a movie. So I think they want to like watch movies with you or have traditions where like you guys like the same things and you make sure to like revisit them, or they like taking you to the movies or something. Or they want to be like entertaining to you. I definitely think this is a bit of an entertainer. So they maybe want to make sure that they're always like entertaining you, or like bringing interesting conversation to you, or telling you good stories. Like they love your attention, I think. And they hope to like grab your attention and keep it. And like the way that this sweet little mouse is looking up at her, it makes me think that like, this is you and this is them, and they are just like, oh, like the adoration for you, the love for you, the thinking that you're so beautiful and so pretty, or like so handsome if you're a man. This just like sweet, like, oh my gosh, like they seem to love you so much and they want that to last. Let's look at some advice for you when it comes to this person. Advice for group 4. The Magician. I'm hearing go for it. The 8 of Cups and the Empress. And the Ace of Wands. Okay. So oftentimes the 8 of Cups is moving away from something, but in this case, and also look how happy it is. And also she's like riding this dragonfly, and I saw so many dragonflies today, and it feels happy to me. It feels like blessings and new things coming in. And so I think in this particular 8 of Cups, she is moving toward the Ace of Wands. And this is a new beginning and a fresh start. And I think that in this case, because there's so much Wands energy with this person, it's a fresh start in relationship. It's moving toward a passionate new beginning. And also because, it just makes me think about this other person that you're thinking of, and you're like making the choice to move away from like what has maybe been good on paper, which is often the 8 of Cups, and like moving away from, maybe certain comforts or things, because this person is such a happy and good opportunity. And I mean, you would know better than I would, of course, if this is someone that you do want to move toward. But if this is someone that you do want to move toward, there's so much indication here of doing that. And with the Empress, oftentimes this is somebody who is pregnant. And so whether you are a man or a woman or non-binary, this could be, if you want children, this could be the relationship where you have children with this person. If you don't want children, if you were too old for kids, if anything like that, this can also be about beginnings. It can be about fertility, in the sense that like you're starting something new, or you maybe will have projects together, or again, you may have pets together, or you may have a home together, but somehow you come together to create something. And it feels like energy of like giving something a chance and giving someone a chance. And I think I heard go for it with this Magician. So it does feel like your advice actually is to just move toward this person, as long as they are someone who you think will make you happy, if it feels right to you, as long as they don't feel like immature or something in a way that you can't handle, because there is this energy of maybe them being a little bit younger than you or something like that. But they seem to bring a lot to the table. And I think that you do too. And it's just different. And so the advice is to bring what you have to the table, see what they have, see if it's what you want, and move toward it if you do. Honestly, I think that's about it. So group 4, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I would love to hear how this resonated for you. I hope you have a great week. I will see you soon. Bye.